We've talked about painting from nature, and we've talked about abstract art, and today I think we'll talk about the live model, painting the live model. Now Van Gogh, he hired models when he was in Holland, and one could say that most of them were, I guess all of them were prostitutes, so he may have had another reason for hiring them besides being models. So myself, I've never hired a model in my entire career, and I don't intend to. I think hiring a model is kind of, I don't know, I just don't like the idea of somebody taking off their clothes for money and standing there while you paint them. There's nothing going on. There's a, it's a, I don't know. We had models in college when I was going to art school in our drawing and painting class, and I never cared for the idea of just sitting there painting a model. It's okay if you want to learn what a figure looks like, but there are other ways. So anyway, I never cared for that. And I don't know if artists these days hire models, but myself, I think it's yeah, no good painting. Excuse me, no good painting can come of that. When you work with a model, it's been my experience, and I've worked with several models, and which I called models, persons who allowed me to do a series of paintings using them as the subject, and it's been a good experience. I've enjoyed it. I thought the paintings that came out of that were worthy. But there's the thing you have to know using our triangle. You have the artist, you have the model, and you need tension. That's the different ingredients you don't get when you hire a model. She's just there for hire, and so you pay. She stands there and you do the painting. There's nothing going on there. But if you choose a model for whatever reason, then you have a little tension, because they don't know quite what you're going to do, what it's going to look like, what they're letting themselves in for. A little tension there. It's like, put it this way, artist, model, tension in between. It would be like, here you take this rubber band, this is a model for hire, nothing. This is the model you select with some tension. Do you hear there's some sound? There's some, you need that pulling. You follow that? Painting a hired model is flat. Selecting a model to paint brings in some tension. And you need that as an artist. You need that to set that situation up. So if you invite somebody to your studio, you don't just have them just come in and sit down and start drawing. You have to prepare and set them up. Get an interchange going. Get them to be a little bit apprehensive about what might be going on there. It's not just a simple thing. It's something you have to work at. But if you do that properly, you'll end up with some good paintings, because that can be a good experience this human interaction. But it has to be there. It has to be some kind of interaction. Like that. It can't be this flesh for hire thing. Doesn't work. That's been my experience. Now Picasso, his models were usually his mistresses or his wives or something like that. I've painted my wife also, but there's always been confrontation with Picasso because of the situation he was in, and that caused, as you can see, that he was able to produce some good work out of that. It doesn't always have to be that. It doesn't always have to be a mistress or something in that order. And that just was his way of doing it. But you can cause that tension without having to be involved intimately with your model. You can cause a tension and some way to connect. And I recommend that sometime during your career that you do paint from the live model, a person that you know, an acquaintance you know, that somehow you feel you need to found something beneath the skin. As we talked about the other day, you went beyond the flesh and you understand something important about it and you want to bring it out. That's good. You'll produce some good works that way. But the thing is not to think in the old terms that an artist has to hire a model to sit there and so he can paint. That's amateur stuff. That's school stuff. You got to get beyond that. It's okay to start, but once you've got through that and you're into this seriously, when you find out how serious art is, then you'll understand that there has to be some kind of tension going on there. So I would say that gives you a range of things to paint. Paint from nature. And that's full of rewards. And paint from the live model, which can also, if it's done right, you can produce some good works. So that's all for today. Go to my website, send me an email, and I'll see you next week.